fly me to the moon.
The Queen Vic, not long ago the scene of a happy family reunion.
What a great day. I feel like a king.
But a King Eddie.
But tonight, we saw the dark side of the Moons and a tragedy unfold.
On your knees! It was an accident! You're not my son anymore.
Over the past few months, father and son have been at the centre of one of the most compelling storylines the Square has ever seen.
The Moons joining the Square has been incredibly successful.
It was brilliant.
Betrayal, selfishness, greed, manipulation.
Action.
This evening, the twisted tale of Eddie and Michael came to its dramatic conclusion.
Please, Dad.
This is when I find out that you're not allowed to mess with Eddie Moon.
Ever since Eddie's arrival in Walford, new Moons have been popping up all over the place.
I think that the Moons have been sent in to sort of stir a few things up and to cause a bit of havoc.
I know that the Moons are a bit complicated. It's taken me a long time to work out who's related to who and how.
Well, first there was Alfie, who's married to Kat. Then along came Alfie's cousin, Michael.
Alfie!
Who's actually Tommy's dad, but let's not worry about that now. Eddie is Michael's dad, and he's also father to Craig and those two cheeky chappies, Anthony and Tyler. I think that covers it.
The two new Moon boys had a very good start. There was a lot of nudity early on, which is always a plus as a sort of female viewer, I think.
All right, darling?
What is it about them? Maybe that they're all gorgeous.
The Moons bring youth, good looks, humour.
Energy, charm and sexiness as well.
What are you doing? Well, I'm helping you out. I mean, being that up must be illegal. I think people do enjoy the cheekiness and the banter that's in the family. Hey, Kat, you ain't bad for an old bird either.
But when it comes to charming the residents of Walford, I think we all know who's the daddy.
He's a charmer, isn't he? And he's just got that, I don't know, that kind of thing where every woman that looks at him either is intrigued by him or wants a bit of him.
Oh, I see.
There was obviously only ever one man for the role, but I had a few things on, so producers went for BAFTA nominee David Essex instead.
Oh, it was brilliant working with David. He's a legend.
Oh, I was there on David Essex's intro, and he was very cool, very suave.
We're going the right way for Albert Square.
Down there, you can't miss it.
David in real life and Eddie on screen bring that courtesy, that rather old-fashioned East End courtesy that I think we haven't seen in a while.
Thanks for that, I appreciate it.
My mum, who really told me how big David Essex was. I mean, I knew the name, obviously, but he was a bit before my time.
Yep, when Eddie Moon was just a twinkle in a writer's eye, David Essex was busy being a 70s heartthrob.
He was huge. You know, he was a big old sort of rock pop star back in the day.
I mean, he definitely has it. If you look at him on Top of the Pops back in 1975 or whenever it was, you know, he's got something about him. No wonder the girls were throwing their knickers at him back then. And I think probably today there is a certain breed of women who are even yet throwing their metaphorical knickers at the television screen.
All the ladies were swooning, definitely. Lindsay Colson was like, hello, lovely to meet you.
Oh my God, David Essex!
Only he could be that role, because it's a man who has to come into the square, instantly seducing everyone. Even Carol Jackson snogging him after about 5 minutes.
Little TLC.
I could do with a little touch-up. Some TLC.
It's got to be someone like David Essex.
Eddie appeals to everyone. He's very charming, and the women like him, the men like him, so he fits in very well.
Although there's at least one person who would have preferred it if Eddie Moon had never come to Walford at all.
Michael Moon hates Eddie.
If he was dying on the street, Jack, I wouldn't gob on him.
Michael and Eddie's history is long and complicated and dates back to an event 33 years ago where Michael's mother killed herself and he walked in to find her body.
Michael's always blamed Eddie for this.
He thinks that his father killed his mother. He's responsible for wrecking his mother's life and wrecking his own life, and he wants revenge. He wants to destroy everything that his father ever had.
She knew that you cheated on her, Dad. You cheated on her, and it broke her heart.
No.
Yes, it did. It broke her heart, and it killed her, Dad. It killed her.
Michael is the survivor of suicide. It does leave a very long-lasting scar in your psyche, and the temptation to look for somebody to blame is almost overwhelming.
Michael, in a few words, damaged, complicated, lonely, lost.
Bloody good looking, though.
Well, he's just like his father in that department, but it's a lot more than good looks that Eddie and Michael share.
We were keen to make clear that Eddie has a very shady past. This is a man who 30-odd years ago was a bit of a hellraiser, a bit of a womanizer.
If the story about Eddie and his son is compelling, it's because it makes real a lot of the feelings that simmer between fathers and sons in what we refer to as real life.
You see me on my knees, and you go for the throat. What kind of monster does that make you?
I didn't make me, Dad. You made me.